Hi, friends. Thank you for being here. I thought I would try out a new video format for my newsletters. For those of you who have been on my mailing list for a while, you'll know that I don't send very many emails unless there's an upcoming event. With our last event of 2024 having been sold out since September, I wanted to come on today to connect with you as we enter December and offer a little end of the year update and early 2025 update. So it is December 1st as I'm recording this, and it's also a new moon. So I hope to get this out to you today so that you can connect with the first of the month ritual that I'll share later in the update, which I feel is especially potent when it falls within the new moon energy period. So we have some unexpected, but my sense is divinely timed and exciting changes coming in 2025. So, for those of you who have been attending our monthly and quarterly in person Sacred Circle gatherings that I've been co facilitating with Becky from Salt and Cedar Healing Arts around the moon cycles, solstices, and equinoxes, this coming December winter solstice will be our last private event in the location that we've called home for the last 13 months. So, this means that in 2025, our private in person gatherings will, like always, focus around somatic movements, meditation, energy healing practices, and more, but will no longer include the thermotherapy pieces. So, we're really leaning into the changes that life brings, and we're excited to see what comes next from this. We hope to be announcing a new in person location soon, as our intention is to continue running monthly gatherings for you. This being said, I have been nudged to consider going fully online, and I'd really love to hear from you, my community, on this. So, would you prefer us to continue seeking and solidifying a new in person space? Or would you like me to lean into the online platforms that are working so well for other groups that I've been running and offer them either live or pre recorded for your own convenience? I love the idea of pre recorded offerings because I appreciate that they are there ready to meet you exactly where you are at, whenever that is in the unfolding of your own personal journey that you happen to align with that workshop or offering. I love the accessibility that they offer to those who may not be able to meet us on the schedule that we provide. And it also feels as though I'm building like a bit of a legacy to leave behind, with my offerings being able to continue supporting people on their paths as my own life and my own availability ebbs and flows. So it does feel as though by recording my offerings, I may be able to create something that grows with you as your own journey unfolds wherever it may be at this time. Of course, the piece that pulls me away from recording and leaning into the in person groups is the connection that those in person circles offers and the sense of community that it really creates, not only for our participants, but for us as well as the facilitators. So, one other offering that I've really been leaning into today in particular is the consideration of a live online or pre recorded New Year's Eve or New Year's Day offering, something that may support you in your own journey of further coming home to yourself and in deepening your presence as you leave behind 2024 and step fully into 2025. So, if there is enough interest for something of this nature, then I will lean into its creation in the next week or two. So, I'd love to hear from you all. Do you want to see the continuation of our in person monthly or quarterly gatherings in a new location? Or do you prefer me to allocate more of my energy into online offerings? And if so, do live online offerings call to you more? Or do you prefer the pre recorded style that can meet you where you're at any given time? And then, of course, is there interest in a New Year's Eve or New Year's Day offering? So I'd love to hear from you all on that in my email or other. And in other updates, if you haven't seen my new podcast yet, I'd love for you to check it out. If you've already been listening for a while, I would love to hear how it's landing for you. Episode 6, Holding Ourselves Through Rebirth, Our Cyclic Nature and Navigating the Holiday Season, did release this morning. And as of today, the newest episodes will be available on YouTube for those of you who don't use Spotify. Episodes 1 to 6 are available now on Spotify, and only episode 6 and future will be available on YouTube. So if what I'm offering there resonates with you, I would so appreciate it if you would leave me a review or just let me know how it's landing. I have been receiving a lot of intuitive downloads recently for what's asking to come through and be created for 2025. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how that all unfolds. So, just a few of the subjects that have been shown to me are cultivating presence in a fast paced world, connecting with presence and safety as a person with chronic illness, and weaving the sacred through our everyday lives. So these are subjects that I have definitely lived in full, and I'm looking forward to what comes through to be created for you. And so, on to the first of the month rituals that I promised at the beginning that I would share. So, before becoming a parent, while my Lyme disease and complex chronic illnesses were in remission, and even prior to that, I really loved big rituals. I could spend hours or even days in extensive and stunning ritual practices for like the moon cycles, the seasons, or whatever it was that I was aligned with at any given time in my journey. And I would even take like full long weekends where I'd let my people know that I would be unavailable. I'd turn off my phone and my connection to social media and the internet, etc. And I would dive deep into my practices for days. So nowadays, I have really had to learn how to weave the sacred through my everyday life in simple, often still beautiful, but much, much more accessible ways that meet me where I'm at right now in this season of my human experience. So, this is one of those very, very simple, quick, and accessible practices, which happens to be amplified this month as it falls within the energetic period of the new moon. So, after doing our release work at the full moon, the new moons support us in connecting with all that we would like to manifest and bring into our lives, our bodies, or our ways of being. Simultaneously, on the first of the month, there's a common cinnamon ritual, maybe you've heard of it, where you connect with what you would like to manifest and you blow the cinnamon into your house through your front door. So, personally, I do add salt to this ritual as well. So, I'm just going to share with you a little example of what this looks like for me. And of course, you may modify it for what works for you and your own living circumstances at this time or your own life. So, what this looks like for me is I have my salt and my cinnamon, and I go to my front door, and I often do this at night so that my neighbors aren't watching me, but sometimes I do it in the morning as well. I do like it when I start my day this way on the first of the month. So I have my cinnamon and my salt, and I start by just anchoring into my body. I connect with myself. So, in whatever way that that calls to you, um, or whatever practices that really support you in entering the present moment for yourself and into your body, deepening your presence into your body and into the moment. And from there, I ground myself, rooting almost like roots of a tree down through the earth and into the core center of Mother Earth. And I also connect above. So basically, what I'm doing, and many of you will already have a practice for this that works for you, is I'm connecting above and below. I'm making sure that I am fully aligned in myself and in my connection to the earth and to spirit before performing this ritual for myself and my household, because I do include my whole household in it. And so from there, as I have connected with myself, I will then ask for support in clearing away anything that no longer serves the highest and best of everyone involved on our household and our property. And so I will see in my mind's eye a beautiful, clear white light of source coming in and encompassing my entire property line. So I do live in a single family dwelling with a yard. So I will envision that light coming over the entire yard, all the way to the end of the driveway, the end of the backyard, the entire perimeter. And it's like a container of energetic white light that is encompassing that entire property and like gridding it with this white light protection. Okay. And so as all of what is meant to be cleared is cleared away, then I am asking for that energetic protection to be anchored in, not only surrounding my property and filling my home and yard, but also above and below. Okay, so this is going through the earth below us, this is going up into the sky above us, and holding my household and my property in this stunning, incredible white light of source energy. And any of you who have done personal work with me or group work with me probably are already familiar with the concept of being protected in this white light of source. And not just work with me, this is a very common practice. So a lot of you probably have it already. So beautiful white light of source protecting my entire property, my house, and then it fills, so above and below and around, and then it fills that whole energetic container with that beautiful, sparkling, stunning, incredible white light all the way through and anchoring around it above and below, surrounding us completely. And I ask that this light protection stays in place for the length of the month. And as I'm doing this, I also just as symbolically, as a symbolic measure, but I physically take my salt and I draw a salt line across the front of my front door so that as you enter my house, you would be crossing this salt line. So, if I had more energy, and was less concerned about the neighbors watching me, I think I would potentially even go around the entire perimeter of my home. But my yard is not fully accessible in its entire perimeter, so I don't do that, but I am visualizing it with my mind, and this is an energetic process. So don't get too hung up on if you can't do each of the physical pieces, but we are just in that physical piece bringing something seen, something physical to the unseen, the energetic. Okay? And we're just like meshing them. And then once that's in place, I take my cinnamon, I put it in my hand. Again, I'm still centered. I'm still holding myself in this energetic container. And obviously, I have called in my spiritual support to hold me in this energetic container as well in my initial process of tuning in and connecting above and below. And so, as I am still held in this space, in this energetic container, I'm connecting with what is it that I would like to bring in to my life or for my home or my family at this time. And as I do that, I will ask, often not out loud, but in my mind through my connection to source for these things. So maybe I'm asking for abundance. Maybe I'm asking for balance or for peace or for serenity. Maybe I'm just asking for things to ease up a little, maybe just to add in some ease or some joy to our lives or to our way of being. And so, whatever it is that is needed for you at this time, there's also over the years been some very specific things that I have asked for in supports or accommodations for myself or my child. Or for various things that our family needed at the time. And so, as I connect with that, I'm setting that intention and I'm asking for this. And once I really have clarity on what that is that I'm asking to be brought in, that is when I take that cinnamon and I blow the cinnamon through the doorway into our home. So I'm actually standing on the outside of our house still at this time, and I'm blowing that cinnamon, blowing all of those intentions into my home and letting it land. Yeah, it's a really beautiful practice that I've been connecting with for quite some time now. And I really have seen the benefits as I do from all of my manifestation practices, especially the new moon and full moon rituals and practices that I connect with every month. And so, with this one falling, the first and the new moon energy falling at the same time, that always feels extra special to me and extra potent when I connect with this ritual. And it really is a ritual that has allowed me to bring ritual into my life in a really, really accessible and simple way. Okay, because as a parent now, and with the health challenges and current disabilities that I am living with at this time, taking part in those larger several hour long, sometimes several day long rituals that I used to really enjoy taking part in simply is not accessible in the same way these days, as it probably is not for many of you. So, connecting with these smaller rituals that we can weave through our daily lives is a really beautiful and effective way of bringing the sacred in and grounding it into our human experience. So, I hope some of you will join me in that ritual today. And if that's something that you have already taken part in and you have your own experience with, I would love to hear about that experience. And if it's something that you're just connecting with for the first time, I'd love to hear about that as well. So thank you so much. As for the questions that I asked earlier about 2025 offerings, I'd love to hear from you in my email inbox. And yeah, I can't wait till I connect with you again soon. Those of you who are in my private email community, you can watch for some email updates later in the month as well, as we really anchor in our 2025 plans. But this might be the only video newsletter for the month. So thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you on all my other platforms for the rest of the year.